Plaintiff Scott Mankey claims the defendant was using his cell phone while driving on the highway and hit his car from behind. He's suing for $5,000 for car damages. Defendant Cory says that he was not using his cell phone while driving and that it was the plaintiff's reckless driving that caused the accident.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
This is case number 156 on the docket, Mankey versus Moore.
And welcome to both of you. Let's see what we have here. We have the plaintiff, Mr. Mankey. You are suing the defendant, Mr. Moore, for $5,000 for car damage. Tell me about it.
Your Honor, I'm here today to recoup my costs from an accident with Mr. Moore. It occurred roughly January timeframe.
Yes.
Also want to kind of send home to this kid and the rest of his kids, as I have kids myself. I want to put the dangers out there. I want to highlight the dangers of distracted driving and the irresponsibility of driving without insurance, how that can harm others as well as yourself. So I really want to highlight that.
Okay, so what happened?
While I was driving home from work, again, back in January, I was commuting home. I entered the highway. As I merged on, I noticed the defendant's white Grand Cherokee in the far left lane. As I approached him and was passing, I noticed he had his phone up onto the steering wheel. He was looking at his phone.
That's a
and
lie.
He's kind of driving along, got off to the shoulder a little bit, and continued on. I got off into the right lane, continued on, pulled well ahead of him, what I thought was well ahead of him. I think we have a little animation.
Why don't we go to the board, and then I'll give you a chance to show you.
Yeah, for sure, because it's not the truth.
So,
You can stand right here.
I'm the black car here.
Okay.
So we have an intersection here to where we have, it's really kind of a difficult one, but as we come off, we have a lane that merges out here, and then this lane continues, merges over, and then has another exit. So it's kind of a double exit at this exit.
This is Wisconsin, right?
Yep, this is Wisconsin. So as we're coming along, I had come in, and this traffic was slowing down as these people were cutting in. As I stopped, as you see here, as I came in and stopped, as this car was stopping, I stopped, kept my distance, so I didn't want to run into anybody. And as I looked up, I saw Mr. Moore coming in fast, heard his brakes locked up. That's when I looked back up. I had no room to get over on the left-hand side because there was traffic. I had no room to get over because we had the shoulder. And usually I try to keep that for the person that's flying up behind me. I say usually because I went through the same scenario the night before, only a little further up where we didn't have the guard.
You're saying the defendant then hit you in the rear of the car. Do we have a picture of what damage was done to your car?
Yep, and that's my car right there. So as his car came up, struck me, glanced off as he went over towards the guardrail. I don't know if he hit the guardrail or not, but...
Well, I can tell you the truth, Your Honor.
Rules are, if you get hit from behind, you don't want to be so close that you hit the car ahead of you.
You have to keep this.
So I kept my gap.
So you didn't hit the car, you weren't pushed into the car in front.
I did not. I had enough gap. By the time
That's a lie.
we stopped, those cars were gone.
All right. Now you tell me what...
Your Honor, let me show you the truth here. So I'm on my way to work, you know, doing my thing, listening to music, watching out, and all of a sudden out of nowhere,
Did you have a cell phone?
No, I did not. I did not. I had a cell phone, but it was on silent. It's on safety mode. I have it so I get no disturbances at all. What happened was there was some traffic going on, but all of a sudden out of nowhere, he comes up swerving, driving crazy, and then clips the front of my car, right? Which leaves me not much room to stop, and then he hits me, right? So there's not much that I could do. I stopped. Water was flying everywhere. Like, there's not much I can do. You know, I had to swerve off to the side because, as you can see, there's nowhere else can go except for on the right. And he ends up, you know, hitting me. You know, I'm trying to be the responsible driver here and make sure I'm safe. And himself, I get out the car, making sure he's taken care of, and he comes out screaming, yelling.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a police report?
We do. I have a police report if you'd like to see it. Your Honor.
That's also the damage that he caused to my vehicle.
Okay, that's your vehicle.
Correct.
And you're saying you're saying he was coming from the left, so he clipped the front of your car.
Yep, I was in the right lane.
That's interesting.
All right.
Can I show you the police report?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give it to him. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. So, if I may.
Oh, yeah, let me just read this.
Okay.
Look at the police report here. Unit 1, that's you. We're traveling in the right lane. Traffic was slowing.
Not true. Not true.
This is the police officer. Hold on. Unit 1 was traveling in the right lane. Traffic was slowing, stopping in front of them due to regular traffic congestion. Unit 1, the plaintiff driver, started to slow for the slowing traffic. Unit 2 driver, that's you, was following too close and was distracted while traveling behind Unit 1. Unit 2 driver stated he looked down to pick up his water.
No.
And this is what the police officer said you told him.
The police don't listen.
And when he looked back up, traffic was slowing, stopping. Unit 2 was unable to stop in time and rear-ended Unit 1. So according to the police officer, there is no question that you hit his car from behind.
Well, I would say were the police there to see it? No.
It's interesting enough that he's questioning the law enforcement itself. The first responding officer
What is that supposed
is
to
the
mean?
father of his best friend. First, the officer came up, approached, talked to him. They talked for a while. The officer then comes over to me, and the officer says, "This is a friend of my son's." He says, "So I've called another officer. That way we can make sure this is all above the board and this is all fair."
Okay.
And I was in agreement with that. I had no problem with that. At that point, the first officer also told me that Mr. Moore was uninsured.
No,
Is that
I told
true?
him no.
Are
I
you
told him,
but are you uninsured?
I have insurance. I just didn't have the card on me.
According to Progressive, he was not insured until the accident happened around 5
Okay,
o'clock.
but like,
He
are
was
you
not insured
progressive?
until
Are you
5:30,
progressive?
Which
That's
would have been when the officer had responded.
Not true.
Do you have
Insurance
any
card that he
evidence
has-
of the insurance?
Not on me, but like I said, I do have the mobile app.
It is
That's what
also noted that he is an uninsured driver in the police report.
No, not true. He must think he's Flo from an insurance company, but you know.
Hold
You're
on.
an awfully creative writer. I hope you have a good career with it. But
I have a
if I
great
can refer
career.
to one of your earlier
Thank you.
writings, Wednesday, March 20th, 2019, 4:01, you had responded to me saying, "I fully, quote, I fully understand. I am at fault, but the amounts you shown are steep. This is what I can afford currently." And this is before we brought it to court, Your Honor. I had worked with Mr. Moore to try to come to some sort of agreement. I understand he's a young man and he made some bad choices.
Okay, I want to look at that.
See,
and I
this
also,
is-
wait, I also have here the Wisconsin Motor Vehicle Crash Report, the violations. And you got a violation for 1, inattentive driving, and 2, operating a motor vehicle without insurance. That is on the official police report. I don't have anything
I'm not
else
sure
to
how
go.
that happened, but like
And
I said,
then you wrote to him, "Hello, Scott. This is what I can offer as far as payments. I can pay $50 a month because currently I am not working. The amount I would be willing to pay is $4,000. So, what I have before me is an accident that took place. I see the photographs, which by themselves could support either side. By that picture, it could be you swiping him, or it could be him hitting you from behind. So the photographs don't make a clear decision for me. What does finally move the balance here, based just on evidence, which is the police report, which is pretty strong, because I've seen police reports where they're not sure. He says this, he says that. This police report is very clearly saying that you are in the wrong. Where the estimates of the damages.
Estimates. I do have estimates. Yep.
And you're saying that the total loss,
The lowest estimate in there, I believe, is around $6,300.
the most this court
$3,900.
can award is $5,000. So the rest, you have to eat
Yep,
the rest.
I understand.
But the court finds for the plaintiff in the sum of $5,000.
Thank you, Your Honor. Biggest thing I can send home to everybody is we need to be insured. We need to stay off the phones. It's just as simple as that. There's too many risks out there. Thank God there was no bodily injury to any one of us, and we all survived to do this another day.
The lesson that I learned was to always make sure you have enough evidence to show somebody, what's going on as far as the actual accident. So